Hi there, Terry back again. Hope I find you well. Welcome to my latest video. Another popular subject, it seems. DC Comics Presents. This being part 4 of my journey through the issues. The next issue being number 45. So, let's get started. Right, number 45 we start with. Cover date May 82. And this is by Ross Andru and Frank Giacoia. Superman and Firestorm in the Chaos Network. It's written by Jerry Conway, pencils Rich Buckler, Bob Smith inking, and the colours by Gene D'Angelo. And this story features a Christopher Cross. No, not that one. This one is spelt with K's, and while stealing some high-tech equipment, it fuses to his body, giving him superpowers. And as you see by the cover, he goes by the name Chris Cross. His first and only appearance in the DC Universe, so you would assume the two heroes bring the terrorists down. Read inside for details. Number 46. June 82. Again Ross Andru and Frank Giacoia with the cover. This time Superman with what is classed as the first appearance in DC Earth 1 canonical continuity. Not easy to say. The previous appearances in the Super Friends comic series are deemed apocryphal. Another word, difficult to say. Who am I talking about? The Global Guardians, of course. And this issue is titled The Wizard Who Wouldn't Stay Dead. It's written by Edward Nelson Bridwell, art by Alex Saviak, Pablo Marcos and Gene D'Angelo. Dr. Mist, the Global Guardians leader, summons Superman to help his colleagues stop a band of supervillains from raising an evil sorcerer from the dead. And trivia time. Each of the Guardians faces the villains as if they have faced them before, but no such stories have ever been published. Then we have number 47, July cover date. Another Ross Andru and Frank Giacoia cover. And we have a first appearance in DC regular comics. The Masters of the Universe action figures did include mini-comics, so not the first appearance in comics completely. But it is the first appearance of He-Man as Prince Adam, as in this point in time, the animated series hadn't been aired. And in the toy line by Mattel, he was described without a secret identity. Anyway, enough trivia. From Inertia with Death, a play on the words of the title of the book written by Ian Fleming. From Russia with Love. Sorry, I said enough trivia. Paul Kuperberg wrote it, Kurt Swan penciled it, Mike DiCarlo inked it, and Gene DiCarlo coloured it. And Superman is drawn into another dimension to help He-Man and Battlecat fight off Skeletor and Beastman, who are attempting to take over Castle Grayskull. And also in this issue, Whatever Happened to Sandy the Golden Boy. This was written by Mike W. Barr, pencils by Jose Delbo, inks by John Calnan, and colours by Tom Zico. In issue 42, we found out that Sandman regained his memory about Sandy, his sidekick from years gone by. He had been turned into a silicoid creature. Then Sandman believed him to be dead. This was not the case, and this tale brings them back together, and Sandman does his best to find a cure for Sandy. And next we have number 48, August cover date. Gil Kane and Frank Giacoia with the cover. Dan Mishkin and Gary Cohn are writing. Pencils Irv Novick, inks Frank McLaughlin, colours Gene D'Angelo. Alien octopi have invaded the Earth, and only Superman and Aquaman can stop them, it seems. And the backstory, Whatever Happened to the Black Pirate and Son. Writer Roy Thomas, pencils and inks by Alfredo Alcala, and colours by Carl Gafford. And the story begins with Black Pirate dreaming a dream going on 5 years when his son, fighting alongside him, ended up in the briny. But when asked by his king to fight again, his 5 years retirement ends and he finds his son alive. But is this a good thing? This story may not end well for some. Number 49, September 82. Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano with the cover this time. Title is just simply Black Adam. It's written by Roy Thomas, Paul Kuperberg. Pencils Rich Buckler, inks John Calnan, and colours Gene D'Angelo. And this story involves the Earth 1 Billy Batson, who isn't Captain Marvel. That character is just that on that Earth, a character in a comic book. But with Billy's help, it leads to defeating Black Adam, showing not all superheroes wear tights. And a Superman quote or speech from the story, you decide. You are more warped than I originally believed, Adam. You call people sheep. You think a hero is somehow different to the rest of the flock. Well, you couldn't be more mistaken. It's the nobility of those very people that spurs us on, that gives us the ideal to live up to, and the will to smash the likes of you. So there. Number 50, October cover date. Rich Buckler and Frank Giacoya are back with the cover. Writers of this issue are Dan Mishkin and Gary Cohn. Pencils Kurt Swan, inks Kurt Schaffenberger, and colours by Gene D'Angelo. And from page 2, this snippet of Superman's thoughts. It seems I'm always rushing back and forth between my two identities and giving both of them the short end of the stick. Sometimes I wish I could really be both, Superman and Clark, living each of my lives without the other to worry about. Careful what you wish for, Superman. Being the title of this story is When You Wish Upon a Planetoid. This issue also has this poster with the 65 heroes he has teamed up with in these last 50 issues. Can you name them all? Let me know in the comments. Number 51. As he picks up number 46. Number 51, November 82. Alex Saviak and Frank Giacoya with the cover. It's written by Dan Mishkin, pencils Alex Saviak, inks Frank McLaughlin, and colours by Gene D'Angelo. The Atom goes back in time to the Old West of the 19th century, and he sees Superman apparently killed, battling aliens. He comes back to the present to see if he can avert the Man of Steel's seeming demise. This issue, along with 13 others, this month contains a 16-page free comic, Masters of the Universe story, Fate is the Killer. And it's written by Paul Kuperberg, pencils Kurt Swan, inks David Hunt, and colours by Anthony Tollin. He-Man is told he must leave the planet, or he risks his demise. It seems Skeletor is close to finding the other half of the Power Sword, which will give him omnipotence over all of inertia. Here you go. Number 52, December 82. Cover by Keith Giffen and Dick Giordano. Negative Woman Goes Berserk. It's written by Paul Kuperberg, pencils Keith Giffen, inks Sal Trappini, and colours by Gene D'Angelo. This issue revolves around a parade for the 309th anniversary of Metropolis. It's also the 150th anniversary of the Daily Planet. And among the floats appearing for the first time in American comics, almost a year before he appeared in his own American comic, Judge Dredd. Only a float and a head, I know, but it is still him. And a quote from this story. Catch that chick, will ya? She's going berserk, smashing everything in sight, without rhyme or reason. She's absolutely nutsy cuckoo. Come back, baby, I love ya. This is said by Ambush Bug. And yes, this is his first appearance. Next we have number 53 from January 83, covered by Ross Andrew and Joe Orlando, The Haunting Dooms of Halloween. Written by Dan Mishkin, pencils by Kurt Swan, inks by Tony DeZuniga, and colours by Gene D'Angelo. And guess who's saying this? Oh, we are going to have such a good time soon as Super Snook figures out how to track down his sweetheart here, which won't be long if I know my heroes. No? Not guessed it? It's that high score in Scrabble, if you could use proper nouns. Yep, it's Mr. Mixyezpidlik. And also in this issue, which I almost missed, another free 16-page comic, Atari Force, codename Liberator. It's written by Jerry Conway, art by Ross Andrew and Dick Giordano, and Adrian Roy with the colours. Freedom or Death is the ominous title. Atari Force had 5 comics released with the games, published by Atari in 1982 through 83, and then a 20-issue DC run from January 84 through August 85. And the paper won't come off, yes it will. There we go. Right, number 54, February 83. Don Newton, Dick Giordano with the cover. And Superman and Green Arrow in The Price of Progress. Paul Kuperberg with the writing, Don Newton with the pencils, Dan Atkins inks, and colours from Gene D'Angelo. The two heroes are forced to battle against a scientist's energy harnessing apparatus that causes tremendous air pollution as a byproduct. Superman is heard to say, I'm paraphrasing him here. No, he didn't say that bit, I just did. World of my fathers, it is almost enough to make me weep. I am the strongest man on earth, and yet here there's nothing I can do to make it safe for people to breathe. In number 55, March 83, Alex Saviak and Bob Smith with the cover. And it's a Bob Rozakis story, The Parasite's Power Ploys. Pencils by Alex Saviak, inks Pablo Marcos, colours Gene D'Angelo. Superboy and the original Airwave had a brief encounter in the past. Superman and Airwave 2 are teamed together to fight the Parasite. And the trivia, for those that don't know, Airwave 2, real name is Harold Lawrence Jordan, or Hal Jordan for short, son of the original Airwave Larry Jordan and Helen Jordan. And the Green Lantern Hal Jordan is Hal's first cousin. So there. Then we have number 56, April 83, a Gil Kane cover this time. Introducing a Paul Kuperberg story. Pencils from Kurt Swan, inks Dave Hunt, colours Gene D'Angelo. And the title, as per the cover, Death in a Dark Dimension. Superman and Power Girl are teleported to a universe conquered by a villain named Maldor, who forces them to compete in gladiatorial games, or see the people of that universe destroyed. And the first, but not the last appearance of Maldor, and we will be seeing him again. And the last issue of this video, number 57, May 83 cover date, cover by Alex Saviak and Dick Giordano. Trivia. Well, to begin with, even though it says in the DC database this is the first appearance of the Atomic Knight, or Knights, it's not true. He and the other Knights first appeared in Strange Adventures, Volume 1, number 117 from June 1960, in a story called Rise of the Atomic Knights. And plus, to confuse matters more, they give this particular knight, the nom de plume, the Shining Knight, who first appeared in Adventure Comics number 66, September 1941. But I do think they've got that wrong, as his name was suggesting, and this guy's name is Gardner Grail. Back to this issue. It's written by Dan Mishkin, pencils Alex Saviak, inks Frank McLaughlin, colours Gene D'Angelo. The title, Days of Futures Past. Days of Future Past. I've heard that somewhere before. Just a short synopsis you'll be glad to hear. A series of false military startups throughout the world leads Superman and Star Labs scientist Marine Herald to the isolation tank of Gardner Grail, whose mind has been manufacturing adventures of himself leading a group of atomic knights in a post-nuclear Holocaust world. So there. For this part, there's just 40 issues and 3 annuals to go. Do you want to see them? Let me know in the comments. There's at least another 2 videos, isn't it? So please give a thumbs up because it helps the algorithm, so I'm told, and it gets me nearer that 500. Please comment. Were you surprised about Judge Dredd? Am I right? Did he appear before? Comments are always replied to. Right, off I go. See you in the next one. Bye.